Hello everyone, my name is Mtale, founder member of Diamond Foundation. We founded Diamond Foundation to do consultancy in marketing and business project management. And today we've come to you straight from Washington DC. We are looking at community equity in relation to community development. That's the main topic today. We're looking at community equity in relation to community development. How can this benefit us as a country, Zambia? This is very important that as from today onwards, it's important to start looking at community equity as the main objective of how we can develop our communities, taking advantage of the rural development plan. Okay, so let's look at community equity. What is it? Community equity is everyone's affair. It is the financial interest of a community to develop community assets. If properly balanced, it creates a strong and vibrant social center. Equity happily provides that foundation upon which communities can build equity. What are we trying to say? This community equity is everyone's share in any particular community. Okay? So, how can we really define it deeply? Equity represents the value that would be retained to a company's shareholders if all the assets were liquidated and all the company's debts were paid off. We can also think of equity as degree of residue ownership in a firm or assets after subtracting all debts associated with the assets. But this is just a nutshell from accounting point of view. But we are trying to relate this topic to community development. We can also look at social equity. Social equity is concerned with the justice and fairness of social policy. Since the 1960s, the concept of social equity has been used in a variety of institution contexts, including education and public administration. But remember, we are trying to relate this so we can take advantage of the rural development plan and understand the concept of equity or community equity. There are so many opportunities if we relate equity opportunities to what we're trying to do or what we're trying to say now. Let's look at equity opportunities. First of all, equality is typically defined as treating everyone the same and giving everyone access to same opportunities. Meanwhile, equity refers to proportional representation, for example, by race, class, gender, etc., in those same opportunities that we need to share. All those opportunities, we shouldn't look at gender, race, class. We have to share those opportunities equally because as we are discussing community equity, everyone has to benefit in the community. But if we look at the allocation, the term equity acknowledges that all the time the allocation of resources and entitlement may need to focus on particular groups, individuals, or areas of concern in order to allow and encourage their full participation in departmental practices and decision making. So you can see at times we have to start looking at, for example, the way Zambia has been doing is been borrowing a lot of money just to develop specific communities like Lusaka, Kitwe, Ndola, Livingstone, forgetting the rural areas of the country. Instead, what we're trying to say here is to look at, once we borrow the money as a country, Zambia, we have to look at rural areas. We can build the communities in those rural areas so that even the rural areas shouldn't be missing anything that people in Lusaka are having. And then we'll have a balanced allocation of resources. Depends on which area you are living in, depends on the resources that you have in that particular area. For example, Kasama, we have just to take advantage of whatever Kasama can offer in terms of resources, natural resources. So I just wanted, ladies and gentlemen, to discuss the importance and meaning of community equity, which is basically one of the principles that can help build rural areas based on the communities and understand what we can build in those particular community in relation to the resources that are there in those kind of communities. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Have a wonderful day. You can just follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel to have more information about what we are trying to share to the communities. Thank you.